I do love visiting a brand new venue. Behind me is the magnificent Phils Lake in Oxfordshire, the base camp for what is one of the highlights of the carp fishing calendar. Out there is 20 budding young carpers being taught by 10 of the best fishing tutors we could find. Ladies and gentlemen, I love it every year. This is the Carp Academy 2017.
We're back in the days when I used to go, when I worked in the tackle shop, all my gear was in a paperboy bag and a rucksack on the mountain bike. And yeah, I come off that a few times. Yeah.
The thinking behind Carp Academy was to put something back into the sport and to do it in a way where the lads are going to go away with some lasting technique. So it's not about catching them a fish at all costs over the couple of days that we're here. It's about teaching them to catch fish back at their own waters after the event. So they learn all the basics really well and they just build from that.
A strong foundation is vital to any successful angler. No matter how perfect your rigs may be, they'll be useless if they're not in the right spot.
Try and get that clip so it goes down, boom. Down, do you feel it? Wasn't perfect.
No.
It went okay, but it wasn't perfect. Right, reel it in, do it again.
No surprise that casting and spot finding is a technique that can never be practiced enough, and the kids get some of the finest shooters in the land teaching them.
I've got Seb and George with me for the next couple of days, and what we've done at the start of the session is exactly what I would do if I was doing my own fishing. So we're casting around just with a lead weight on the end of a marker rod, so we've got braided line, which means you feel everything as the lead hits the bottom. And Seb in particular started off, he was struggling with his casting where he was snatching it and it wasn't actually going far enough. So his cast was, he wasn't using the rod fully. So I've basically got him to lean back a little bit more, extend his arms a little bit, and then by pulling through that arc a bit more, he's getting much better distance. The line's clipped under the spool on the reel, so it's hitting the clip and he's feeling the lead hit the bottom. And that's so important. When you feel the lead hit the bottom, you know what it's landing on, you know whether the rig is presented or whether it's snarled up in weed. So we've done a lot of that at the start. They've probably had 20 or 30 casts each in the right area, just to keep feeling the lead hit the bottom, feeling the lead hit the bottom. Now they know what it feels like and now they're hitting the clip every time, then we can start fishing. Yeah, good. Cool, that's your right hand rod. Bonk, lovely, perfect.
I always just try and teach the lads the fundamentals of carp fishing, making sure you've got a sharp hook, making sure you can cast accurately, and first of all that you've found the fish in the first place. Now it's slightly different here because we're actually set into a swim. We don't need to walk around the lake and find the fish, but I still made sure we sit down at the front of the swim, have a look out, find where the fish are showing in there, and then cast to them.
Looks like the young'uns seem to be getting the hang of the fundamentals. Now with everyone happy, let's see if we can't stir things up a bit.
If you had your top 5 anglers save your life, who would be in it?
You, yourself.
Yeah, that's a given, isn't it? In at number 1 is Ali. All right, the other 4.
I'll go Darrell.
What do you think Darrell's good at?
Casting.
Yeah, he's a machine at casting.
Yeah,
Look at him.
that's the main reason I said that.
Yeah.
What
about Dovey?
He just looks quite good all round, really.
Do you think he should cut his beard? I do.
Give it a little trim, maybe.
Yeah, because he's between me and you. He's got a fascination with Conor McGregor, and I actually think at times he thinks he is Conor McGregor. He won't stop doing that walk.
Just round
you know the walk with the arms.
Yeah.
He does it everywhere. It's starting to grate on me a bit. What's been your starting approach then?
Flick a few singles out with a couple of 10 baits out, trying to get a quick bite.
Yeah. What rigs have you used first then?
Spinner rigs.
Yeah?
I've got the spinner rigs on.
Yeah.
Done really well on them, so.
I just put 2 stiff hinge rigs out.
Yeah?
Um,
Pop-ups,
yeah,
sitting proud.
Yeah, just above the deck, so hopefully fish will come pick up.
But very nice meeting you.
You too. I'll see you in a bit.
Dovey might give it the big un like McGregor, but he can back it up. Looks like his lads are first off the mark, but it hasn't quite gone according to plan.
Drama at Phils Lake. I've got a phone call. You've told me there's a fish in the weed. Talk us through what's happened.
Yeah, he's had a bite on his right hand rod, which is 80 yards out into the pond, and probably about 70-75 yards out there's a massive weed bed. And as soon as he's picked up the rod, the fish has jumped itself into the weed bed and buried itself in there. So it's really hard to get it out from the bank. So the best thing to do is get above it in a boat and get it out that way.
For health and safety reasons, William's going to stand on the bank with me. We're going to talk through exactly what the boys are going to do to extract a fish from the weed in the most efficient way. So go on, Dovey, get the rod, and you'll notice he's got it there on a semi-tight line. And sometimes when you put the rod on the rest, okay, to keep it all steady, they can come out of the weed. So that's always the first port of call, because a lot of lakes you go to, you don't have a boat.
Kids, life jackets are non-negotiable when going out in a boat. No fish is worth the risk.
You just, with this sort of thing though, you just got to go steady and just, it'll come off something. That's sometimes when you just can't get enough on the rod, physically with a rod, because it bends and you've got the stretch of the mono. The next best thing to take the stretch out of the rod is to use your hand. Yeah. Oh, he's got a net. He's got, yeah, there's a fish on there. What have you got? Way! Well done, William.
Cheers.
First fish of the Carp Academy 2017. Yes. And a dramatic one as well. What'd you make of that then, Josh?
Pretty good.
Good, wasn't it? Learn a bit there? All smiles, the sun's come out. Go on then, chuck one up there, bruv. Go on, William. Rapturous round of applause. Come on, lads. Let's give it to him.
There you go, my friend. I'm not sure what the stamp of fish is in here, but that is definitely a beautiful one. Can't imagine there's many in here that look like that. Look at that. A bit of weeding on him, nearly got us in trouble. Bit of drama, but it was worth it, wasn't it?
Yep.
How much are you going to give yourself for it?
£8.
£8? I'd have given you 10, I think, but it's a lovely one. So well done. That's it. Got a bit of water. Go on, mate. A little bit of water. Good man. I bet this is whet your appetite, isn't it, Josh?
Yeah.
Gorgeous little fish. I bet you want to catch one of them. Feel how sharp the hook is. I was talking about earlier with the fundamentals, is getting them exactly right. The accuracy out there is second to none, really. You've obviously done it quite a lot before. He's put them in a 5-foot area at 72 yards. He's been extremely accurate. He's got a sharp hook on and a good bait. It's working for you, isn't it? Look, he's happy.
That's a happy man.
Dovey's a master at working quickly to build a hit. A few spoms of bait to go out to top up the spot. The rig's placed to perfection, and hopefully the next fish is just around the corner.
Right then, Thomas, this looks like the winning rig that has helped young William bank his first fish. First fish at Carp Academy.
Yes, it is.
And as my good friend Madonna said, this is the vogue rig, isn't it, at the moment?
It is, mate, yeah. Everyone's using this rig at the moment. It's because it is so good. You can cast it anywhere and it catches you carp anywhere.
Why do you think it's so good? Talk me through it, a bit of the methodology behind it and the mechanics.
Yeah, there's a few components that make this really good. One, and the most important part, is the stiff boom. We've seen from doing lots of underwater footage that stiff boom kicks back out if a fish comes in, sucks it out and blows it out, and it's fishing again for you. So basically it's sitting out there until you get picked up.
It looks convenient with the interchangeable swivel, but what does it offer you mechanics-wise?
Well, the hook is directly on top of the swivel, so obviously it can spin really quickly when it's in the fish's mouth.
So it sits up something like that?
Yeah, no matter what way the fish comes from, that spins and catches hold in the fish's mouth.
It looks quite complicated to tie, is it?
No, it's really easy. You've got about 7 inches of boom material, 25 pound. It's relatively stiff so it kicks out. You're crimping a loop in each end really quickly. Easy, even easier than knots.
Okay.
You're crimping that to a quick change swivel there, and then the hook goes directly onto the quick change part of the swivel, and then you've got a little kicker, a swivel, and then a bead on the hook. And you can have these little bits made up and literally just put it onto the swivel and off you go again.
Obviously you've got like the crimp tools that make this job very simple, but I have seen some people use that bit with a ring swivel quick change option.
The swivel comes with a ring on it,
right?
But I just like less metal there basically, so I cut the ring off and then I crimp the loop into it. You get the same amount of movement but less metal.
and probably a better balanced pop-up as well as a result of it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, some I use a little tiny pop-up with this, so I don't want loads of metal there, it'll end up sinking, so I cut the metal away and have it nice and free running.
That's just one of the mainline ones, soaked in a bit of Mystic Spice, which was the winning Gu Manchu, wasn't it?
Yeah, it works really well.
How's that sort of sinking speed-wise?
It sinks relatively quickly. It's not critically balanced. I'm not adamant about it sinking really slowly.
Yeah.
So I just think it gets hung up a little bit. But yeah, it sinks pretty quick. Sits on the bottom, sits up like that.
Never tangles, spins in the mouth.
It's perfect.
Lovely. I might have to use this. I have actually not cast one out yet.
You will do.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a copycat after all.
With rigs like those, I'm absolutely sure our students will be putting a lot more fish on their bank.
That is the best roll I've ever had.
Well, it's the morning after the night before, and unfortunately we haven't caught anything. We've got good baits, good rigs, and we've got good spots. The fish are here, and we should have caught. So the next option is to try fishing up in the water. And my young lad Jared here, he's been on at me from the moment we got here. Can we try zigs? So I want to learn more about zigs. And having looked at the scene, you know, the not catching, and there's a few swifts out there taking bits and pieces off the top, a few seagulls as well, and that is a good indicator that there's a bit of a hatch going off, something on the surface that the carp may be feeding on. Like I say, there's fish in the area, and the only way to sort of target them if they are off the bottom is the zig rig, and that's just a buoyant bait that sort of pre-tensions the hook link and allows you to fish in the upper layers. What are you saying, Jared? Is that going to do it?
I think it will do it. From what we've seen everyone fishing bottom baits during the night and during the day.
Yeah.
And 2 fish have came out.
Yeah.
And that means 2 things: the fish aren't either feeding or they're up in the water.
Simple logic, very good thing to have as a carp angler. So yeah, let's get it out and see what it does.
It was only a matter of moments until Pecky's lads had a change of luck.
Hasn't been out there that long at all, literally 15 minutes, just time to get the second rod out, and that first zig down the edge just above the top of the weed like we were talking about has ripped off. Unfortunately it's gone straight in a weed bed, so we might need to get the boat, but we're going to give it a bit of pressure, see if we can free it up and get it out of the weed and on the move, but if not, we have to take to the water. It's definitely still on, I just meant as it kicked free of the weed, it's definitely on there. As ease off as in, like, take the line from being tight. Right, now bend back into it. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Like that, hold it there. Oh, hang on. Here we go. If it comes, pull. Just steady like that, don't go mad. Oh, easy.
By slacking the line and lifting back into the carp, they've managed to wiggle the fish clear of the weed. Awesome techers, Pecky.
Yeah, he's getting it. Go on, take it. If you get it, that's it. Keep going. Keep going. Just keep. If it comes, take the line. Never stop. Oh, easy goes. You've done the hard bit.
Yeah, this is the worst bit on zigs, where people mess it up. So go nice and gentle. That's it. Steady though.
Yeah, go on, have him.
Keep your head up. Keep your head up. Keep the head up.
Have him.
Well done.
Yes. Yes, mate. Yes.
Lord out the zigs, everyone.
I'd really like to take the credit for that, but he was literally bullying me to put it on.
Good lad. Well done. One of my favourite methods. Julio Giorgio, you said you're going to come here and you wanted to learn about zigs. You haven't actually caught it, but you did pressure the carp machine, Mr. Peck, to make the change. Go on, what was your thinking behind it?
From everyone fishing bottom baits all yesterday and last night, it was either 2 things: the fish weren't feeding or they were going to be up in the water. So it was worth a shot of zigs, wasn't it?
My theory with carp is I think they are pigs in water, and I believe at some point in the day they're always feeding. Yeah, yeah, if that makes sense. And whether they're feeding on the bottom or up in the water, because when you look at this, Darrell, as an experienced angler, it's not your typical zig weather, is it? People associate fishing up in the water with heat, high temperatures, but it's not the case, is it?
It looks like open water conditions, big winds, and you'd think they'd be feeding, but just that many baits on the bottom, not working. We can't all be doing it wrong. And then you've got the other signs, and you were 100% correct. You know, I doffed my cap, mate. I should have seen it. Should have seen it. Much
Science,
sooner.
yeah. Well, it's like that. If you, I mean, that type of method, I absolutely love it, and I've caught fish on zigs in all sorts of conditions, from freezing cold to sunny days to conditions like this. And the telltale sign is when your bottom rods aren't going, you've got to make a change. You know, you're on a lake with a lot of fish, so it's worth a little twist, isn't it? It's worth a rod. Yeah. Well, you know, you've got everyone else as a gauge. If it all starts kicking off in the bottom, you know. But now they're all going to be following you boys. So, Captor, you can't give me a high five. I'll give you a pat on the mop, yeah? Well done. Let's hope this is the start of many more to come.
Hopefully, yeah, definitely.
The primary goal of Carp Academy isn't to just catch fish, it's to learn as much about them as possible. And this year we had a very special addition to the week, an exclusive lecture from Mr. Carp himself, Simon Scott. He's that good, even the pros learnt a thing or two.
That's where his body works best.
It's been a tough couple of days on the fishing front, but at least the alarms were sounding during the last evening.
They often say that tench are trickier to catch than carp, so if you're catching tench, as long as the carp are in the swim, you've got half a chance. Don't know what the other guys are doing round the lake, do you? No. Good stuff.
And speaking of tench, Dan's lads had an absolute banger at £9 4 ounces. But unfortunately that was it for this year's Carp Academy. Although it would have been nice to bank a few more fish, the main focus for us is to impart our decades of wisdom and experience so that the students can use it to their advantage on their own waters and hopefully catch a new PB. That's what it's all about, nurturing the next generation of carpers and seeing them go on to achieve great things.
Well done, Joe. Well done, mate. Good work.
Like the best experience I've ever had.
Something that will stick in all our heads for the rest of our lives.
The lake has been tough, it's been challenging, more challenging than we expected it to be, but that's given the lads loads of time to sort of hone their skills in other areas. So every instructor I spoke to said we've gone through the syllabus and some, you know, and they've done extra rigs and everything else because they've had the time to do it. And then obviously the few that have caught fish have learned how to deal with them better on the bank, photograph them better, everything else. So from that respect, I'm sure the lads will go away onto their local lakes, which are probably not as challenging than this, and absolutely open them up. So from that point of view, I would say it's been a roaring success.
Well, that's it for another year. It has been a grueler, but you've all fished like Trojans, haven't you?
Yeah, whatever, I'll lace it on done.
Oh yeah.